Sometimes I put out ads or mailings or posts that are a little bit, well, maybe over dramatic. The one I sent out that says you should almost never price your home where your real estate agent recommends might be a little bit over dramatic, but it actually makes a point, and a very valid one as a matter of fact. And I think you'll see that on this video. Let me start by pointing out that what real estate agents don't tell you is not derogatory by any means. If you've seen any of the videos or any of the publications I put out, that's not derogatory in any way, form, or manner. It just simply points out that there's information that you need to know that might not be shared by other real estate agents. And not because they don't want to share it with you, but because they may not be familiar that they need to share it with you. So we're going to talk about pricing specifically today. I really focus on the P's, and there are actually more than 4 P's. I've added some P's. So we're going to talk about the pricing first. But I'm going to give a little plug to my book first. I do have a book on Amazon called What Real Estate Agents Are Not Telling You. Feel free to grab a copy. It's going to give you more detail than I can certainly go into in this video. It's very affordable. Hopefully it'll be very helpful to you whether you list your home with me or someone else. The first problem with pricing your home in the environment that we're in is that most agents have not been in a shifting market. I've actually been in 6 shifting markets, shifting up, going from normal to hot, and going the other way from hot back to normal or even to a very down market. And shifting markets are very different than any other kind of market. I'm just going to tell you that. It's very important that you pay attention to more factors when it comes to pricing. Now, because of the longevity in the real estate business that I've had, I've been in shifting markets. That doesn't mean I'm the only one who knows how to navigate this. I'll give you a quick hint. Most agents don't make it past 5 years in the real estate business. 87%, as a matter of fact, don't make it 5 years, according to the National Association of Realtors. You might want to think about dealing with an agent who has at least 5 years experience and a strong track record during that time. Anyway, let's jump into this real quick. One of the questions you should ask in a shifting market is, are you using multiple methods to reach an accurate value for my home? Hint, if they're only using one, then they're leaving some information on the table that should be considered. We actually use 3 methods before we determine, all right, where should this home be priced? And actually we use a little more data than just valuations. I'll explain that in just a second. One of those methods is not price per square foot, just so you know. I don't use price per square foot. Appraisers don't use price per square foot, just so you know. Price per square foot is inherently inaccurate. I mean, think about it. Are 2 houses that are 2,500 square feet each worth the same amount of money? No. One might have lots of improvements. One might have lots of deferred maintenance. One might be on an inferior lot. There's just too many variables for price per square foot to be an accurate way to value a home. So if you hear the term price per square foot, you might think twice about whether that valuation from that agent is going to be something you want to consider. So let's jump into what we do. We do 3 different analyses: an appreciation analysis, a neighborhood analysis, and a market overview. The appreciation analysis, you can kind of figure what that is. We look at the market and see what's been going on in the way of average price increases in appreciation for real estate, single family homes specifically, in our market. I'm not talking about national or state or citywide. I'm talking about in the market that your home is located in. What is going on there appreciation-wise? So if we're going down the path of what is the home worth, and a particular homeowner wants twice the appreciation anybody else has gotten, that actually might happen because of the improvements they made. But it's very, very rare because a lot of homeowners make improvements. So for one particular homeowner to get vastly more appreciation than somebody else is not a typical scenario. So we use appreciation analysis as a measuring stick to kind of see, all right, where is the market with this particular situation. Then we use a neighborhood analysis. The neighborhood analysis basically says what's going on within your immediate geographic area. Now, you may not live in a subdivision specifically, but in your geographic area, there's an indication of what buyers are willing to do for that location. And location can be important enough that you can literally be across the road from another subdivision that sells at a very different valuation level for the same size house. It's just the way the market works, the way builders work, the way developments work. So we're going to look at the neighborhood analysis. Then we're going to look at a market overview. What's a market overview? Well, when a buyer comes from out of town, they don't typically look at one neighborhood. They look at different areas. They look at different types of housing, and they decide based on what they see where they want to live. So we're going to do a market overview to see how your home compares on an overall basis to other areas with similar sized and valued housing. I hope this makes sense. So we're going to use those three, and we're going to take the data from those and kind of determine, we're going to determine where your price should be. But we use some other factors. In addition to that, we're going to look at the success ratio. Says what's going on in your market. What is the success of houses being put on the market? If 100 homes are placed for sale and 80 homes close, that's 80% success, correct? I've actually been in neighborhoods where there was an 8% success ratio. I didn't say 80, I said 8%. So why would a seller put a home in a market like that? Well, some people just need to move. Some people have things happen in their lives that require a move. So we didn't focus on the other 92%. We focused on the 8% that were successful, and how could we be one of those? So success ratios can vary dramatically based on the timing in the market and the area in which you're located. The hotness ratio is the most current picture of what the market's doing. So we want to take the hotness ratio and see where your particular market, your neighborhood, your geographic area is in the way of the best, most recent picture of how hot it is. Okay. Now, hotness doesn't necessarily mean hotness. It might be a really cold area, but we're going to measure that based on the hotness ratio and see where you stand. We're also going to look at the inventory. So if you go on the market and you're competing with 27 other homes very much like yours, you might price it differently than if you're competing with 3 other homes very much like yours. The point of this is, if you see that your home value comes out around $1 million, there might be a scenario where you price it at $1.1 million and successfully sell it. There might be another scenario where the valuation is $1 million, but you price it at $900 in order to successfully sell it. So when we take the valuation methods and the ratios, we look at all those together and we advise you on where we feel like the home is going to sell the best. I hope this is making sense. It's not just an assessment like the tax assessor does or like Zillow does. Those are what I call data-driven methods. Anybody from Zillow ever come to your house and say, hey, let me take a look at your house so we can give you an accurate value? Of course they didn't. That's data-driven. We go beyond the data-driven process because we actually see the homes that you're competing with and homes that have sold. I hope that makes sense. Finally, I'm going to talk about the number that you choose, because the actual number that you choose is going to affect how many buyers see your home online. I'm going to give you a quick hint. I'm going to share more detail about this if you decide to meet with me, or if you buy the book, it's in there. But I'm not going to give you the whole story. And I don't think it's going to upset you because I'm going to give you most of the story. If you meet an agent and they come up with a valuation of $700,000, but they want you to price it $699,900, I'd really think twice about it. If you have an agent come up with a valuation of $850,000 who wants you to price it $849,500, you really need to think twice about it. Same thing at $1 million, $999,900. Wouldn't do it. $1,500,000, $1,449,000, wouldn't do it. I think you know where I'm going with this, and that's what I mean by I'm giving you most of the story. I'm going to give you the rationale in the actual hard numbers and why this is so important. Guess what? It works at Walmart. It works at gas stations, but it doesn't work in the real estate business marketing homes online. And I'll give you more details and more information on that if and when we're able to meet. You know, a lot of people tell me they learn from these videos, and I hope you did too. I've got another one out here that will give you some information, again, that you probably have never heard before. Take a look at this video. It's going to provide some details about what agents won't tell you. Again, not derogatory in any way. I hope to see you on that video.